In this lesson, we're going to solve quadratic equations graphically and numerically. Okay, so let's look at this quadratic equation. We have 6x squared minus x minus 1 equals 0. And we're going to solve this using our graphing calculator. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is type in our equation. So remember, the left-hand side is going to go into y1 and the right-hand side is going to go into y2. Since we're just looking at a basic quadratic function, we're going to see if our standard 10 by 10 window is going to give our solutions. Okay, remember when we have a quadratic function, we could have up to 2 solutions. It all depends on the degree. So I could have 2 solutions, 1 solution, or no solution. In this case, I see that I have 2 intersections here, so there are 2 solutions. I'm actually going to zoom in a little bit here to get a better look at the graph. Okay. Now we're going to use the calculator to do the rest of the work. So second trace, option number 5 is going to find those 2 intersections for us. So I'm going to scroll till I get really close to the intersection and hit enter 3 times. Okay, so I see that I have my first intersection at negative 1/3. Okay, let's go ahead and find the second intersection. So we do the whole process again. Second trace, option number 5, and I'm going to scroll to the intersection. Hit enter 3 times, and I see my second intersection is at 1/2. So I have my 2 solutions, x equals negative 1/3 and x is equal to positive 1/2. Okay, we're going to do the same thing for this equation. So 2x squared plus x plus 3 equals 6x. So again, the left-hand side of my equation is going to go into y1. And the right-hand side of my equation is going to go into y2. Okay, we're going to try zoom 6. And I see that I have my intersections here. We may want to zoom in a little bit more or zoom out and above. So we could actually make a standard window here. Since I know there's no intersections down in the negative values down here, if I go to window, so I can leave my x values at negative 10 to positive 10. But let's start our y values at 0 since we don't have any negative intersections down there. And we can go up to, say, positive 20. And you might want to change the scale as well. You could just as easily zoom out, but this gives us a little bit more control of our window. Once you have your window set, we can hit the graph key. Okay, and we could see that intersection a little bit clearer. Again, if you want, you could zoom in a little bit more. I don't think it's necessary. I would leave it the way it is. So second trace, option number 5. I'm going to try to get close to where I see the intersection and hit enter 3 times. So I see that I have one intersection at x equals 1.5. Okay, our last example, we're going to solve numerically. So we're going to use the table. Just like for our graphical method, the left-hand side is going to go into y1, and the right-hand side is going to go into y2. Okay, instead I'm going to look at my table. I noticed that my table has been set to another problem that I had done earlier, so I'm going to reset it. So second and then the window key, I'm going to start it at 0 and have it count up by ones. Okay, so we're looking at where y1 and y2 are equal. Okay, I noticed in my table that I didn't have any values equal, and that's because I typed in y1 incorrectly. So that happens sometimes. So I'm going to fix that. And now hopefully I'll find y1 and y2 equal to each other, which I do. I see I have a value here at 2. And let's see if there's another value. Since it looks like our y values are going up as we get into the negative x values, I do see another value at x equals negative 6. Okay, so I have x equals 2 and x equals negative 6 as the solutions to this quadratic equation.